So I'm redoing this video. Hopefully this one has sound. Gonna try to remember what I talked about, but in the first vlog, the one thing that bounced off the page for me, or that stuck out to me in our first discussion, was when we started talking about what we'd rather have, living in Nebraska or the virtual thing, or the back and forth, and then we talked a little bit more about um, happiness and what happy people do that makes them happy, or what defines happiness. We just started talking about the word happiness, and those conversations about what leads to a better, more successful, happier life was very interesting. I was attentive. I was focused on that, and I think in my head, when you start thinking about when someone said what makes you happy, there's no one thing that you can say. It's just kind of like the habits that you form over time, and as we look towards the screen with the stuff that makes you happy, and as I look at one right now, a couple of things that it says, tips for happiness to a just random person that's not happy would be, notice the world around you, or to take care of your body, or to keep learning new things, or to have goals, or to find a way to bounce back. And I look at those things and like, yeah, a person that's happy is gonna have those things, but it's very, very difficult to just wake up, look at something like that, and be like, oh, I'm gonna have new ways that I can bounce back from failures or whatever. So I think happiness is more of a process. It's not a one worded, one time thing, because as we all know, the small events that happen in our lives that is a day long or that's an hour long, it goes away, and it can't fulfill us time and time again, and we're always missing something else, which is when you decide to bring in the whole aspect of faith or God, or there has to be something more. And I've had that conversation with myself many times about, what is, after I die, what is going to happen? Is it just a black hole? Um, or do I get to go to heaven and see people that have passed before me into the sight? So that gets pretty deep really fast. But then you start to realize that without faith and without God and without a belief that He has something greater for you, even after your time here is done, there's nothing on this earth that can truly satisfy you and fill you whole without that aspect of faith, because there's a lot of things that can make you happy, seeing something beautiful in the world, relationships with opposite sex, spending, having money, materialistic things. But as we all know, there's people that have all that and they're very, very unhappy, or very glass half empty type of mindset, just because that's not true happiness. So that whole conversation with our entire class about that really popped out to me, and it was something that I thought, this is really interesting, because I've had this conversation with myself before about what makes me happy and what I need in order to continue a life of success and happiness well after I'm out of college, well after I start a family, etc., etc. So I think that was really, of the two classes leading up to the first vlog, was what really stuck out to me.